Nevada Virtual Academy, we are back. What's happening? Are you there yet? Problem number 12. Sylvia worked in a store that sold cylinder-shaped children's pools. She made a sign relating the volumes of these two pools. Okay? The splasher pool holds what percent of the water the paddler pool holds? Well, obviously there will be a number there, right? And they're giving us the paddler pool, the splasher pool. The volume of the paddler pool is 108 pi cubic feet. The splasher pool holds which percent of the water the paddler pool holds? Okay, and you have the four options in here, as usually on the proficiency exam. And the question is, how should we start? What can we do in here? Okay, now you guys know that if you have to compare two quantities and find out what percent of the other one of them is, you need to know exactly, or you need to know the relation. In this case, we need to know what is the volume of the splasher pool, because the paddler pool's volume is given, right? They're telling us that the volume of the paddler pool is 108 pi cubic feet. How can we find the splasher pool volume, right? How can you find the volume of this shape? What shape are the two pools having? A cylinder, right? And we deal with the cylinder. The volume of a cylinder will be given by the area of its base, right, times its height. Okay, and for its base, for this basis, because we're talking about cylinder, you definitely have a circle with the radius, right? Same story here with the splasher pool. All right, we got the circle, and this circle definitely has a radius. If we know that, we can say that the base of the cylinder, which is the circle, right? And I can show it to you, that circle right there at the bottom. Well, the area of the base, and that's for every circle, would be pi radius squared, right? If you don't remember the area of the circle, please go back in your proficiency exam booklet, second or third page, and find the formula. Okay, find the formula for the area of your cylinder, find the formula for the volume of your cylinder, and so on. Now, because I know the area, to find the volume I need to multiply the area of my base times the height of my cylinder, and this will give you pi r squared times height. Okay, but we know the height, your h for this problem, is 1 feet. I know the radius of this pool here, because that will be half of its diameter, which diameter is 24. It means the radius is actually 12 feet. Okay, knowing all of this, I can just go ahead and find what is the volume. And the volume of let's say splasher pool, right, will be equal to pi times r squared, but that's 12 squared, right, times height, which height is 1. I'm going to use parentheses in here, although not necessary, just for you guys to understand that this one is the radius and that one is the height. And now we know that 12 squared is 144, times 1 is still 144, and would be multiplied by pi. And that's the volume of your splasher pool. Now the problem is asking you to find what percent of the water in the paddler pool does the splasher pool holds, right? Which means that you will consider the paddler pool as being the 100%. Okay, so 100% is your 108 pi. And there are a few ways in which you can go with this. Basically, you can just go ahead and say, okay, the volume of the splasher pool divided by the volume of the paddler pool, I'm going to use pp for that, equals what? And you will substitute the two values. I got 144 pi divided by 108 pi, and I need to find what percentage is this one. And as you notice in here, this is definitely greater than 100%, right? First of all, you can simplify by pi, and then I have 144 and 108. They're both divisible by 12, right? 12 goes in 144 12 times. 12 goes in 108. Let's see how many times. Is it 9 times? 9 times 2 is 18, right? 9 times 1 is 9, plus 1 is 10, 108. Okay, we can still simplify here by 3, and this will give me 4 over 3, which is actually 1 and 1/3 as a mixed number, which is definitely as a percent 133%. Definitely not 33, not 75, not 300. Better be 133%. Okay, so that would be one way. Another way is to say, okay, 144 pi. I'm gonna take 108 pi out of this one. Okay, and this gives me what? Wait, 8 out of 14 is 6. 0 out of 3 is 3. 1 out of 1, 0. I got 36 pi. Okay, so this is what the splasher pool has more than the paddler pool. Okay, so far the splasher pool will have 100% plus whatever 36 pi over 108 pi will be in percent, right? Because now you need to find, okay, how many more percents does the splasher pool have compared to the paddler pool? And the 108 pi was the 100%, 36 pi over 108 is the difference, right? You need to find what is that, and that will give you actually 1 over 3, right? Because if you simplify here, that will give you 1/3, which is 33%, and that's why the answer here will be C, 133%. I mean, these are just two ways in which you can solve this problem. If you know, you will be required to write your steps. You can use anything, you know, any way of solving it that I presented to you here. Definitely you can put your radius in it. You can write how did you find, how you compare the two poles, and how did you manage to figure out that the percentage is 133, which pool you have used as reference, which pool you have used as the one with the 100%. So be careful, because usually we know that, hey, percents, for the percents you have a fraction where the denominator is greater than the numerator. That may be the case most often, but every once in a while the numerator will be greater than your denominator, which will give you a percentage that will be greater than 100. Okay, so keep in mind here, because the paddler pool was my reference pool, splasher pool being larger, it will give me, and it should give me, more than 100% of the paddler pool, right? Make sense? All right, thank you guys, this is it.